Eitan Shmukler. I had the privilege of being one of Yaron's best friends, I'd say. I'll talk first about the bra itself, and it's called in Hebrew המנגל של Yaroni, and why we do what we do. Basically, I'll say that we talk about the last weekend that Yaron was home and everyone says he did so many things. He was everywhere, 72 hours. He saw everyone. He loved every single member of his family, all of the friends. I saw him 3 times that weekend. Went to shul. He was up till 3 a.m. I do want to say he was like that every single weekend. The main lesson that I take away from him, and we talk about it a lot, is the fact that he was just everywhere he needed to be, and he did what was important. He didn't deal with things that weren't important. If we'd ever fight or if we'd ever argue, he'd say these things aren't really important. Why don't we deal with the things that are actually fun and, I mean, what we should be doing? Because arguing doesn't help anyone, so let's just go have a beer, go to the beach, go play football on Friday morning. She also did on the last Friday I was home. That's the main lesson I usually say. I've been downgraded this time to talk about the bra and not to talk about him. The mangal shel Yaroni comes from a tradition we had as friends every single Friday when we could, and we'd come out of the army because we're all sort of officers or in combat roles, and we'd see each other once every 2 or 3 weeks. We'd always have a braai. We'd always, no matter what, is everyone home? Yes, you've slept an hour last night, doesn't matter. We'll meet up at around 12, 1 o'clock. Usually I'd go with Yaroni, we'd play football, organize everything for the guys, and then either at my house or at Debbie's place, we'd go organize everything and have a braai every single week. And yes, you can guess, also on the last Friday that he was home, the first thing he said when he got his phone and he said, "I'm on the way out, guys," he said, "Make sure you have the meat, I'll be there." And he said, "This time I'm resting, just make the meat and I'll be there." And also on the last Friday we had a braai. And then during the Shiva, actually not from the friends, from Daniel, his older brother's friends, from Eitan. Where's Eitan? He's filming me. The idea came from him, and he said, I want to commemorate him in a way that helps and gives back as well. And he came and said, we want to raise a project that basically goes and does braais for soldiers everywhere around the country. And when I mean everywhere, they have been everywhere. They've been up north on the borders, down south. They've been near Gaza. They've been even further south than Gaza. They've been in areas on the border up north, which right now no one can actually enter. It's a project that is solely built from donations. So there's not a single shekel that comes from, I mean, I don't even know how to say it, from a cause that isn't just. And volunteers, there's a group of, if I'm correct, around 120?
250.
250. Wow. 250 volunteers that requests come in every single week, and whenever they can, someone takes over the management and says, fine, we'll bring you volunteers, we'll bring you meat, we'll bring you whatever you need, and we'll show up at your doorstep. And it's all just in memory of Yaroni, of the braai that we used to do every single Friday. It goes back to the most basic form of giving back to the soldiers. All volunteers, all from Tumot, all just out of love and to give back. And before, I'm sorry that I'm talking on more and more because everyone's talked quite a lot, but I really believe that the best way to commemorate and to live on and to remember all the soldiers that have fallen, and sadly everyone knows someone, is through living life. It's through sitting down, eating a bit of meat, drinking a beer, talking to the person next to you, smiling and living on, not dealing with sadness. There's a place for sadness, there's also a place to carry on in life. And at least when I think of Yaron, I think whenever we do anything that has to do with living life, having fun, the most basic things, that there is just like, I'm playing football tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. Every time I step on the field, it's just reminds me of him in the best way possible. So I hope everyone enjoys, and whoever wants to donate, there's also a barcode on the sign in the middle here. Feel free to join the volunteers group, feel free just to have a good time and remember all the soldiers who sadly have fallen and that we remember today. Thank you.
Let the food and the fun